Yo, what's good, guys? Okay, welcome to the Traders Reality Crypto Projections, episode 32. This is the weekly review. We'll be doing these videos on a Sunday just to summarize what's been going on in the week and how we can capitalize on the potential setups that appear when the psychological low and the psychological high are formed, which will be coming into the start of the new crypto trading week this evening. All right, so in Forex, every night on a Sunday at 10 p.m., that is the start of the new trading week in Forex. Now, in crypto, it's done a few hours beforehand. Now, it varies depending on where you are in and around the world, which is why we refer back to MT4 to determine exactly what those zones are. So I'll show you what I'm talking about right now. You see this green line here, and I'm sure you've heard me in the streams talk about the psychological high and low. They are the true forms of support and resistance. Why? Because at the start of the week, when the first high and the first low are established at the start of the week, this mimics the range that the market makers will be working in and around from. All right, because there's only one of two things that price can do. It can come to the psychological high, break through it and trade away from it, or it can come to the psychological low, break away from it and come towards it and trade away from it. All right, this is where they build their range. This is the zone where they set their orders for the attention for the rest of the week. All right, so if we look at where we were from last week on the Sunday, which brings us to exactly the 6th, 7th. All right, so which is here. There it is right there. You can see that it happened. The time that it happened was on this platform. It come in at 5 minutes past 4 on the 5th. Okay, so on the 5th of June at 5 minutes past 4, all right, you're going to get the psychological high and low, which I believe is on, it's not been done today. No, because there's not been a reset. So yeah, it will be based on either Moscow, all right, or it will be based in Helsinki, which is on a different server. So it all depends on the server that you have set on MT4. All right. So what happened? I mean, this week has been a very interesting week. All right. We started off on the Sunday night, which was here. Price came into the lows, completely dropped, broke through the psychological low. They traded away from it, built their longs at lower prices, sent price all the way down. The fact is that they kept price well within the range from last week and within the previous low. And it still hasn't gone below the absolute low from Bitcoin, which was done at 28,319. All right. Now, this drop, if you zoom out, you can see that we have effectively got, forgive the lines, guys, but everything's a live chart and real-time learning for a lot of people that come through the streams. You can see a sort of W formation. We've got a smaller W formation. All right. And we've got a bigger W formation, or you could agree that there is an inverted head and shoulders appearing in Bitcoin on the bigger scheme of things. All right. Now, it's not uncommon to see patterns within patterns. All right. The smaller W here, you can see it's made a rise to the upside. It's come back down and we're working towards another level 1 rise to the upside. Now, if you look closer as well, you can see that over the past couple of days, it's now been forming what we understand to be a what? A W formation. If you look at the RSI itself, you can see a W formation forming right here as well. All right. You can see that right there. And now you've got it in price as well. And it's all happening within the psychological high and low for the week. So that is a big tell that they do favor higher prices. Now, if you've been going over the videos, you've been understanding that we've been waiting for these vector candles to be recovered. So the first vector has been recovered. We do have sight for this vector candle down here to be recovered also. All right. And there is also potential for this vector candle to be recovered. So the absolute low that Bitcoin could take from now up until the start of the market, we could actually visit the 31,891 unless there's some news that's going to absolutely ricochet Bitcoin and send everything to the down. All right. But remember, guys, when they're dropping price, especially when it's coming out of a peak formation, you know that if it stays within the peak formation, it's still going to be valid trend to the upside because it hasn't broken any previous areas that they started to move away from the zone and come back into the fray. All right. So what we need to understand, guys, is this. Monday, which was brought onto us from here. All right. So this was Sunday, Monday. We had the false move week beginning. All right, so they falsified the move by sending it down lower, triggering the shorts to go lower. All right, so they could get their longs filled at lower prices. All right, the big vector candle down here was the big clue that they were favoring to start moving price back up into the fray, back to the 50. But what was important was to understand that this vector candle here, the fact that price had recovered it so soon in the same session. Remember, from the start of the Asian session, they hit the high and then they dropped lower, but it recovered over 50% of the move that it made previously. That was a big tell that the market makers were going to start looking to bring price back up. They had these vector candles up here that needed to be recovered, and you can definitely see that they did that. All right. Now, if you go through the projections channel, the last videos of last week, we were talking about the development of this move and which points price needed to come to solidify the move back to the upside. All right. Now, you can see what they've done on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. They contained price. All right. They brought price all the way up and then they just stabilized. And now they've come back down to recover this previous vector candle. Why am I telling you this? What you need to do, guys, is this. When you go back and watch the previous videos in the projections channel, you now have chart to project where it ended up. So you're looking at it in the past and then you're seeing it in real time. It's going to help you understand, all right, and pinpoint the confluences that came together in order for price to show favorable signs to the upside, because that's all this is, guys. The practice of projection is about training your eyes to foresee what you think may happen based on the confluences that come into play. So if we consider the vector candle to the downside, they recovered this previous vector candle and returned 50% more of the move from Monday. All right, they came back, touch, and up they went. You could say that there was an inverted head and shoulders there as well. So there's patterns within patterns within patterns. This is how they throw people off. But our goal as traders is to be aware of this, all right, and understand which patterns are important, all right? So that is Bitcoin for you. Where do we see Bitcoin going from now? Well, we need to establish the psychological high and low for next week, all right? That's what we're waiting for. I understand now that Bitcoin is still in level 1. So it's in a bit of a sideways movement. That's not a problem. That is good news for us. What we need to see is Bitcoin come back up towards the high side, break away and recover this previous zone. All right. And then make ground towards taking the 39 mark and aiming for the 40. That is only on the principle that Bitcoin does recover this previous zone. And when it comes up to this zone, it will retrace. By that point, the 50 EMA and the 200 would have edged upwards to the upside. All right. And then we will see a retrace continuation to the upside. So in other words, we will see the following pattern: rise, retrace, continuation to the upside. That is the pattern, guys. All right. Ideally, you want to see the 50 EMA in and around this area here. All right. Cool. That's Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Now, Ethereum has been showing very interesting behavior. All right. Some may have been watching this thinking that this peak formation has been invalidated. No, it hasn't. Why? Because price has come straight back into the fray. All right. Look what it's done. It came back down, broke this area here, and it came below, tapped it, and then reversed back up. All right. Now, what's important is this. You can see at the bottom right here, you see the first tap right there. It's come within the previous low. So we are still safe for the peak formation for Ethereum. If this peak formation does go lower, if price does go lower and it comes all the way down to the range daily low, the pattern will be invalidated and we will be looking for a new W formation. All right, because from the previous high of Ethereum, it's now working level 3 peak formation. Level 3 and level 1 are always the tricky zones to determine. All right, it's the trickiest part of the chart. Level 2 is the continuation to the upside. All right, that's the easiest. But it's always level 1 and level 3 where you're going to get caught out. All right, because they know people are following this principle and they want to try and throw people off. All right. So as long as Ethereum holds in and around this zone, we are looking favorable towards the upside, but she has a lot of work to do because the moving averages are stacked to the downside. All right. Bitcoin is showing the true dominance by staying above the zone, and it's showing a nice, clean trading like pattern formation and confluences that are all coming together. So you can see these vector candles right here. We will be recovering those vectors. Why? Because Bitcoin is basing and notable volume is coming in below the moving average with intention to break out and move higher. All right. So I'm projecting this zone right here. I'm going to look to pull up a price chart. Bitcoin should be coming to recover the 36,692 zone. And we've also got, well, we're working towards recovering this zone right here as well, which brings us to 36,257. All right. Now, XRP, same story with Ethereum. We've got a nice big W formation. XRP is trading well as well because it stayed within the peak formation low from last week. So that's happy days. Notable volume coming in at the lows and now they're reversing back up. Now she's working towards breaking away from the 50 because the 200 and the 50 are pointing downwards. Momentum is strong to the downside. But when you look at the RSI itself, you're now starting to see it come in outside the volatility band and then back inside, forming a support at the market base and moving away from that point. All right. So I hope that helps you guys. A nice quick video there for you. I'll be doing these Sunday weekly updates just so we can summarize the previous week of trading. Remember, guys, I don't do updates on a Monday and I don't do them on a Friday. Why? Because the beef of the moves happen on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All right. Look what Friday brought for us. It didn't really bring anything. Look at this behavior right here. Nothing. All right. And then the weekend itself, it moved down. And yeah, you could say you could have capitalized on that. But in my opinion, trading on the weekends, it's low volume, high volatility. All right. And I don't like that. Because when I want to see volatility, I want it to be backed with volume because I know that when it's pushing price to the upside, I know there's volume there supporting it, which means if there is a retrace, I can anticipate that the volume's going to come back in again and send price higher from that point. So then that means I can get my order filled in at a lower point, so then I can get it closed at a higher point later on in the chart. All right. So mad respect to anybody that has subscribed to the channel. If you are new to the Traders Reality Crypto channel, welcome aboard, guys. Make sure you go to the stream so you can actually learn more about how to apply what I'm talking about. And I will see you in tonight's stream. All right. Mad love and respect to all of you people. Peace.